On today's video, we are ranking golf brands in 2024, and I do this every year, but this year there are going to be some new faces on the list, as well as some brands moving up and some moving down. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, of course, this is an exercise in subjectivity. This is one man's opinion. Your opinion may differ. I would love to hear about it down in the comments. A couple things I want to note here, though, is that 2024 releases are going to be heavily weighted in my opinions. So brands that have rolled out some great clubs in 2024, you may see them move up or down depending on what came out. I'll also say that I am primarily a value guy, so I love to see great value for money, and brands might have exceptional golf clubs, but if the value is not there, if they're super expensive, something like that, you may see them lower in the rankings than what you think they should be. That's just how I rank golf clubs. And before we get started, I want to ask you to hit subscribe if you enjoy content like these. It lets me know that I'm making the types of videos that you want to see. And last thing I'll mention before we get started here with the first brand is that this channel is sponsored by ShipSticks, and no matter what club brand is your favorite and no matter what's in your bag, if you want to get it there safe and secure and on time, use ShipSticks. If you've seen recent viral videos of baggage handlers throwing golf clubs in airplanes, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's ugly for sure, and you'll have peace of mind with our partner ShipSticks. You can save 20% with our link down below. All right, let's get to work here. First brand up on the list is going to be Srixon. Now, Srixon did not have any major releases here in 2024, so I'll primarily base this on 2023's releases. I really like the ZX5 and ZX7 irons. The driver was a very good offering for Srixon, although I didn't rank it super high compared to some of the other big names. But all in all, I'm going to put Srixon in the would buy category. Great feel in their irons, great quality. Definitely deserve the would buy here. Next brand up is Cleveland. Cleveland's actually a sister brand of Srixon, so it makes a whole lot of sense. Now with Cleveland, I love their older clubs. I'm talking about things like the 588 wedges, that sort of thing. But from 2010 to about maybe 2020 or so, I was not really thrilled with what Cleveland was producing. Although this year, I think they put out some really good stuff. I checked it out at the PGA show, and for that reason, I think they are worthy this year of the would buy category. Check out their drivers and irons if you haven't already. Next brand up on the list here is Takomo. This is a direct-to-consumer brand. If you've been watching any amount of YouTube, you've probably seen your clubs. A lot of the influencers are sponsored by them. I am not sponsored by them, but I do like their clubs a lot. I've tried a lot. I actually have two of their clubs in my bag right now. The 3-wood and the 5-wood in my bag is Takomo. They make great irons in the 101 and the 101Ts, as well as the 201s and 301s. I've tried their prototype driver, and for a direct-to-consumer driver, I thought it was really good. They haven't officially released it though, and hopefully we'll see a driver come from them real soon here. All in all, I'm gonna rank Takomo in the would buy category. Next brand up is Wilson Staff, and if you've been watching this channel, you know I've become more and more over the last 5 years a Wilson Staff fanboy. The value for what you're getting is super high. They're just doing some incredible things. Their Dynapower irons, I think, are the best game improvement irons on the market. This year, they rolled out the Dynapower Forge, which is an incredible player's distance iron. They make amazing blades, wedges. Even the driver is a decent driver as well. Wilson Staff, for me, is going to be, believe it or not, pure class. Yes, they are doing some amazing things at Wilson Staff. Next brand up on the list is the hardest one for me to pronounce. It's Exexio, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. This is a brand part of that same Cleveland Dunlop family, although I think, for me, the value for money is not as high as those other ones. The clubs are decent. I think they work really well, especially for seniors and for ladies and things. But for your average everyday golfer out there, I just think there's some better options on the market. So for me, I'm going to put it in the meh category. I know some people are going to argue with that, but that's where I'm putting it. Next brand up on the list is going to be Hanma. Now, this is another one where I know there's a lot of fans of this brand, but I've tried their clubs over the years. They're very expensive clubs. For me, I just think there are better options on the market. They look beautiful. In fact, if you've seen some of their custom designs, they're gold and embellished and engraved and all these things, and they look incredible. But the performance to me is just, you know, pretty average. So I know I won't make any friends with this ranking, but I'm going to put Hanma in the meh category. The next brand up on our list is Adams. Now, this is a brand that's actually going to be moving up in the list. I think last time I put them in the meh category, but they started to release some new things here. They just rolled out some new irons again. They're rolling out some new woods. They're doing some good things over at Adams. And for me, I'm putting it in the would try category here in 2024. Next brand on the list is going to be Stix. Now, if you've seen my reviews, I think they make the best package set out on the market. A lot of people ask Costco, Callaway Edge, or Sticks. I generally give the preference to Sticks, even though it's a few dollars more. I think it's just slightly better quality, but they're both good, honestly. This year, Sticks put out the Compete driver I just reviewed on the channel, which really shocked me. I didn't think a direct-to-consumer brand would have a nice driver like this, and it performed better than my expectations. For me, Sticks has to be in the would buy category. Next brand up on the list is going to be Calais. Now, this is another direct-to-consumer brand. This one is from Scotland. Their designs look a lot like some of the other ones out on the market. Their clubs, though, are priced better than a lot of clubs out there on the market. I'm gonna put Calais in the would try category. Next up on this list is going to be Ben Hogan. This one I think I had down towards the bottom in years past. This brand has been struggling with all sorts of turnover over the last 5 years. They've gone bankrupt, they've changed hands, all sorts of things, but I think they're finally getting the ship back on course. The PTX Pro irons I just tried on this channel, I really loved. They're for lower handicappers. I don't think Ben Hogan's a brand that really is good for high handicappers, but for you low handicappers, they're making some really good clubs. I'm definitely going to put them, they're moving up here in the would try category. Next brand up on the list is a brand that is doing so many amazing things in terms of innovation, pushing the envelope, and that's going to be Cobra. Cobra just rolled out a 3D printed irons. In years past, we've tried the 3D printed putters on this channel. The Dark Speed line this year was a great line, really from top to bottom. The drivers were exceptional. The putters were even good. Not a lot of people have talked about the putters, but the putters are really good. The irons are great. Cobra, for me, is going to be in the would buy category. Next brand up on this list is Dunlop. Now, they're the parent brand of those other ones I mentioned, Strixon, Exexio, Cleveland, but Dunlop itself not really putting out anything I think that really warrants a buy for me. I hope in the coming years we may start to see a resurgence of this brand. I'm kind of primarily basing this off the clubs of old. So if you're shopping secondhand, would I recommend a Dunlop? Nah, that's going in the nah category for me. Next brand up on the list is going to be Ram. Now, Ram is another one that I had towards the bottom last year in 2023, but their more recent clubs are starting to get better and better. And for me this year, I'm actually going to put them in the would try category. Great value for money with Ram. If you're looking for a budget set of irons that still performs as good as some of the big brands out there, I think these at least now have to be in the conversation. I didn't think I'd ever see Ram in the would try category, but in 2024, they are. Next brand up on the list is a big one. This is TaylorMade. Now, TaylorMade's got the QI10 family this year. Every year, they're putting out exceptional drivers and woods. Their irons are right at the top. Their wedges are very good. And of course, their putters hold up as well. For me, TaylorMade has to be in pure class. Next brand up on this list is going to be Odyssey. Now, Odyssey is actually owned by Callaway, but I'm going to consider it its own brand here. Odyssey, I think in years past, I've put more in the meth category, but now they're starting to actually get my attention. They came out with an AI line. I'm not sold necessarily on the AI line, but they're trying to innovate more. My knock on them before was that they're kind of putting out boring old designs. They weren't really pushing the envelope, but that's changing now. And I was actually playing a Jailbird putter there for a few months. They've now got the Jailbird 1 AI. This year, I think I'm gonna make a lot of people happy when I put them here in the would buy category. Next brand up on the list is Mizuno, and I am unashamedly a Mizuno fanboy. I just think their drivers continue to improve. The new ST230 driver is exceptional. Their irons, I mean, they're just as good as they get in terms of a Japanese forging. Their wedges are really good, and sleeper in the Mizuno line for me is actually the M-Craft line of putters. Sneaky good value. So for me, Mizuno is in the pure class category. Next up on the list is another Japanese brand, and this is Miura. Now, here is kind of what I was saying up front. Miura makes an exceptional line of irons, but for me, they're just pricing so many folks out of it. So while they may in fact be the best quality blades on the market, I'm gonna actually just put them in the would try category. And that's, again, not a knock on the quality. It's really more of a knock on the value ratio here. I know it's gonna piss a lot of people off. They're a great club, but for me, they're just a little bit too expensive. Next one on the list here is going to be Evenroll. This is a line of putters that a lot of folks who watch Let's Play Through really seem to enjoy. I think it's a great putter. Again, maybe not the best value for money putter out there, but I'm gonna put this in the would try category. Let's stick with putters, and the next one on our list is gonna be Bettinardi. Again, if you look at the milling on a Bettinardi, super, super high end. I like this putter. I would put it in the would buy category if you can find it on the Costco website. It has been there a couple of times, believe it or not, over the years. But Bettinardi at full retail price for me is just going to be in the would try category. Again, great putter, great quality, but it may be pricing a few people out of the market, and that's why it's in the would try category for me. Next one up is going to be Yonex. Now, back in 2023, I reviewed their new drivers. They also make custom shafts. I thought it was a good offering, but again, I'm not sure it competes with some of the other things out on the market. I don't think it was as long or as forgiving as some of the other ones out there. So for me, I'm going to put it this year in the meth category. Next one up on the list is going to be Ping, and Ping, boy oh boy, somehow, some way, they just continue to evolve and to innovate. When you think they're stopped, don't ever count them out. This year's Blueprint irons are fantastic. They also just rolled out the i530 irons, which I am begging to try. They're getting so many good reviews. I play the Ping 10K Max. I think it's the most forgiving driver that I've ever tested on this show. It's also extremely long. I'm hitting so many fairways. No doubt about it in my mind, of course, putters. Ping has to be pure class. Next up on the list is another surprise, and it's moving up for me again this year. This is McGregor. McGregor for a couple of years was in the nah category, but no longer. The quality is getting better and better. For me, I'm actually going to put it in the would try category, and stay tuned because we've got a McGregor review coming out here very soon on Let's Play Through. Again, this is your chance to subscribe so you don't miss any videos. A few more left here to go. Next up is going to be Tour Edge Exotics, and it's no surprise to people who watch this channel that I'm a huge Tour Edge fan. They didn't roll out anything new with the Tour Edge Exotics line, but even the Tour Edge C524 line this year was incredible value, from the driver, the woods, to the irons, to the wedges. Wow, Tour Edge is doing it right. The Exotics line is even better, and the value for money is really incomparable with brands that are made here in the United States and who are available in golf shops like Golf Galaxy, Dick's, PGA Tour Superstore, that sort of thing. For me, Tour Edge Exotics has to be a would buy. Next up on our list is PXG. Now, this is a brand that's really taken a 360 over the years. They used to be the super exclusive high-end brand. They've become the more affordable brand, especially if you're a military first responder. The PXG Gen 6 driver, I think, is the longest driver in 2024. The irons are fantastic. They make great wedges. They make great putters. PXG, for me, has to be, these days, in the would buy category. Next up is Sub 70. Now, this is a brand, again, that a lot of people like, and you're probably not going to like where I rank them if you're a fan of the brand. But I'll tell you why I rank them. They're kind of like Miura. They make a quality product, but I think it's just ever so slightly more expensive than some things like Takomo, like Cali, that are a little bit higher up on my list. And I think it's about the same quality. So very good quality clubs. If you want to buy an American brand, that's why you might choose Sub 70 over some of those others. But for me, I'm just going to simply put them in the would try category. Now, another brand that I believe is under the umbrella of Sub 70 is going to be SMT. And I was really pumped to try these irons because they're made, well, at least what I heard in the forums, out of the same factory that the Kirkland Signature irons were made, that I really enjoyed this year. The SMT irons, unfortunately, were probably the worst irons I've ever tried on this show. If you want to go back and watch that video, you can check it out. But for me, they're unequivocally going in the nah category. I would not recommend these SMT irons. Next brand up, well, we talked about them just now, so let's bring them up here on the screen, is Kirkland Signature. This is the Costco brand, and it never ceases to amaze me that they can create golf clubs that are not only incredible value, but incredible quality. I think their KS1 putter, hopefully we'll see a KS2 putter here coming soon, is excellent value for the money. The wedges are incredible value for the money. They're as good as any Vokey wedge I've ever played. The problem is they're just not very customizable. You've got a certain loft and that's it. Now they've got irons, which we may never see the irons again because of the lawsuit, but they're very good irons. And the driver at $199 is probably going to be the cheapest driver that you can get for that type of quality. So for me, Kirkland Signature, it's almost a pure class brand, but I'm going to definitely put this in the would buy category. Yes, you can get good golf clubs at Costco. Next brand on the list is going to be another big name, and this is Titleist. Well, Titleist has these new drivers coming out. I haven't quite had a chance to test them. I can't wait, but I can vouch for last year's TSR model. I think the TSR3 was the best driver of 2023. I tried the T200 irons this year, might be the best players distance irons on the market. Of course, the T150s are fantastic as well for the lower handicappers. They've got the Vokey line of wedges. They've got the Cameron line of putters. There's no doubt in my mind, Titleist, once again here in 2024, is pure class. Next brand up on the list is Maltby. Now, this is a brand that blew my mind, and it might have been the most requested brand. Took me many months, if not years, to finally test this brand. After so many comments asking me to test Maltby, I gave in, and I am so glad I did. I love their TS1IM irons. I think they're incredible value for money. I think their TS3 irons are the best irons I've played all of 2024. I rank them the highest at 98 points. You do not see that ranking on this show very often, if at all. So for me, Maltby has to be value for money, one of the best I've ever seen, and for that reason, they are going to be pure class. That's going to shock a lot of people, I know. Next one on the list is going to be Callaway. Callaway has the Paradigm AI this year. Both the drivers and the irons are exceptional. Really like those irons, again, for high handicappers. They make good wedges. Of course, again, they have the Odyssey line of putters. For me, it's an easy would buy category for Callaway. Last brand up on our list is going to be Tommy Armour. This is the in-house brand at Dick's Sporting Goods. Their 845 irons are absolutely iconic, and with the updated 845s, they're even better. The value for money is exceptional. And for me, I'm going to put them in the would try category. Really love what Tommy Armour is doing here. Guys, that wraps up my 2024 rankings. I'm sure there's going to be a lot to discuss, so I can't wait again to hear what you have to say down in the comments. If you watched this far, thank you very much. And again, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.